I've used OBS before, but this is the first time I've used uh, my phone. So let me do some tests on this other phone, make sure my audio's coming in clear. Hold on. We're just going to do a little test real quick to make sure everybody can hear me. Let's see. Let's go to YouTube. Right here. Right here. Where is it? Your videos. Live. Testing. Okay, we're good. We're good to go. All right, so let's get into this video. So today we're going to be doing a S950 drum kit, sound kit, and I'm gonna show you how I process it. I got 5 samples on my MPC, and I got 16 drums that we're gonna sample into the MPC, and then we're gonna put it back into, into the S950, then back into the MPC, and then I'm gonna save it, and then on Thursday we're gonna do another live stream where I put it together in FL Studio, mix it down, and then you guys can cop, the kit. So the first thing I want to say is I've had this S950 since 2006. It's really old. I bought it for $200. Now they're going for $2,000. So I made a really smart decision. That's 10x on my money. So it's been in storage for a while. That's why it's all nasty looking. I need to get it fixed up. But I'm gonna show you how to get it set up. You need 2 instrument cables. All right, one for right here. I don't know if you can see that. One to sample into the S950, and it's gonna come into your first input right here on your MPC, and then you're gonna have another instrument cable that's just coming from the back of your MPC and into the mix channel onto the S950. So just 2 instrument cables, that's all you need. And make sure that you flip the switch on the back of your MPC and make sure it's line and not phono. So with that said, I'm going to show you how I do this. So let's turn this on. I'm going to turn this on. And for the first sample, I'm going to show you the settings that I use on the S950. And I got to do some updates with this S950, like get it all cleaned up, get some of the dust out of the inside, the converters, get a USB drive instead of the floppy drive, and just, kind of, improve it a little bit. So we're going to start the MPC, all right, and then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take this off of here. Let's flip this around. All right, so that's the screen on the S950 right there. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna come to the MPC. We're gonna go to menu, and then we're gonna go to browser, and then we're gonna go to places. Go to my thumb drive, and then we're gonna choose this folder S950, and then we're gonna go to raw samples. All right, and we're gonna choose this first one, load it, menu, and then we're gonna come to sample edit. All right, and this is what the first sample sounds like. And I made these samples myself. All right, so that's the sample, one of the 5 samples that are going to be in this pack. So what we're going to do is we're going to sample it into the S950 and get that 12-bit grit on it. So these are the settings that you need to choose. So we're going to come to record right here. All right, and it doesn't matter what we name the sample. We're going to go page down, and then make sure it's set on analog input 1 by default. And then we're going to choose 16 hertz as the bandwidth. and then we're page down again, and then we're gonna make this 11, 8, about 12 seconds is what it's gonna turn out to be. So almost 12 seconds. All right, go down, go down, and then we're gonna set it as audio level. All right, and then it's going to ask us to hit enter when we're ready. And I'm going to take this control knob and we're going to bring it all the way down. So when that threshold is met, it's going to start recording. All right, so we're going to make it very small. I got the record level set at very hot, and you want to plug that one of the instrument cables into the line input. So we're going to record the sample now. We're going to hit enter, and it's waiting for audio. So we're going to come over here to the first pad. Okay, I messed up. Hold on. I messed up. What am I doing wrong? Oh, that's the other thing. I got to tune this up to 20. Okay, we got to turn it up to 20. And let's see, what am I doing wrong? I know I'm doing something wrong. Okay, let's go to enter. I think I have to plug it in right here, actually. We're going to go down. Hold on. It was working. I feel stupid now. Now I feel stupid because I must have hit on something else. Hold on. Let's see. It's on analog input. What am I doing wrong? 3 audio level. Enter. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Hold on. Hold on. I'm doing something wrong. Let's see here. Did it accidentally get... No, it's online. What am I doing wrong? It was working just yesterday. Hold on. There's something not right here. And I'm trying to figure out. It was going right yesterday, and of course, now that I'm actually recording this, it's going wrong. What am I doing wrong? Um let's see here. I'm doing something wrong. I'm doing something wrong. It was working yesterday. I think the chords are actually shot. Of course, when I need it to work on the live stream, it's not wanting to do it. Everything looks right on here from yesterday. Audio level. What am I doing wrong? Okay, let me turn this around. Of course, when I need it to work, something like this happens. Let's put it right here. Let's see. What am I doing wrong? I'm doing something wrong, guys. Just bear with me. I'll get this figured out. I always do. Sample edit. I think the chords are shot, actually. what am I doing wrong? It was working just yesterday, and I used the same settings I did yesterday. I don't know why it's doing this now. Like I said, I think the chords are shot. Oh, I'm a dumbass. I am such a dumbass. Hold on. My bad, guys. I'm an idiot. I used the wrong cable. So let's go to enter. All right. We're good to go now. I'm a fucking idiot. So now it's recorded. And why we're speeding it up like this is because the S950 has very limited sample time, okay? So one of the reasons why it has that 12-bit grit is because when you speed it up and then slow it back down in the MPC, it's going to sound, it's going to have all those sound artifacts in the sample. So now that we got it recorded, we're going to come over here to menu, and then we're going to come to sampler, and we're going to choose in. Hold on, we're going to turn this down real fast. And then we're going to switch this to record playback trigger. All right. And then let's make sure it's going. Hold on. Hold on, something's wrong. That's not what I want. Actually, let's go back, and we're going to delete this sample because I don't like the way that sounds. We're going to go to enter, record, and then we're going to go down and record this again. We're going to do this again to make sure that we're good, audio level, and then we'll come back to menu and then sample edit, and we'll do the same thing that we did before, and it's recording the sample again. All right, now the sample's recorded. We'll go to menu, sampler, and then we're going to choose input 1. It's got to be in mono. And then we're going to switch this over to here. Hold on. Oh, I didn't hit enter. I feel like such a dumbass. It's always something when you're recording for people, all the problems arise, but when you're doing it by yourself, everything goes smoothly. So bear with me, guys. All right, now it's recording. All right, so now we got the recording done. All right, and then we're going to come to menu, sampler, all right, input 1. I might have to change that because it's coming in just a tad bit hot, but we're going to listen to it and see how it sounds. So we're going to come to arm, playback. All right, and then stop. We'll go to keep, and then menu, and then sample edit. We'll come to the sample we just had, and I'm pretty sure we're going to have to resample this again. Go to process, normalize. Yeah, we're going to have to redo that one. We're going to have to redo this one. So we'll come to process, and then we'll come to discard, do it. Hold on. There we go. Delete sample. We'll come back to that one. We're going to have to record this again because I don't like the way that turned out. So we'll come to delete sample, delete it, enter, record, and then we'll scroll down. All the settings are still there. Audio level. And then we'll go back to the line input. We'll kind of dial back the recording level because it's coming in just a tad too hot. And then we'll come to sample edit and then enter again. And we're going to record the sample again. All right. Now it's done. We'll come over here, switch that, go to menu, sampler. There we go. Now we got something. That's good. Wait. Yeah, we got something now. This is good. So we'll come to arm, playback. All right, now we got our sample. All right, and then we're going to go to keep, menu, sample edit, go to the sample we just created, and then we're going to tune this back down 20, and then we're going to come to process, normalize, and listen to what we have. Nice, perfect, perfect. We're off to the races. So it's got that nice 12-bit grit to it. Nice lo-fi. And these are all samples I created. So all you have to do is run it by me and you can get easy clearance. So yeah, we got something here. We got something. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to, let's see, we named this sample Caramel Love. So we're going to come to menu, we're going to go to save, sample, and then we're going to come to our thumb drive, the S950 folder that I created, and then we're going to go to new folder, and we're just going to call this 12-bit samples. 12-bit samples. All right, do it. And then we're going to name the sample Caramel Love. Caramel Love, do it, save. And we just saved our first sample. And then I'll go into, on Thursday's live stream, we'll go and put the kit together on FL Studio. We'll do some mixing. We'll do some processing of the drums. But today we're just going to be sampling the samples and drums into the S950 and back into the MPC and then saving it. So we got the first sample done. All right. So the first thing I want to do is I want to come to edit, cursor, and then we're going to delete this sample, enter, come back to record, and then we're going to go to browser, and then we're going to choose the next sample. All right. This one's called Hershey Kisses. All right. So this is what it sounds like. Yeah, so it sounds really nice. All 5 soul samples are created by me. All you have to do is run it by me, easy clearance. So we're going to go and record this into the S950, and we're going to go page down, and we're just going to use the same settings that we used for the first sample. So we're just going to scroll down, 16 hertz, 16,000 hertz is the bandwidth, and then about 12 seconds is the sample time. And then we're going to scroll down, audio level 3, and we're going to press enter, and we're going to tune this up 20, all right? We're going to tune that up 20 and hit. Hold on. I didn't switch this over. We got to go back to line. Go back to line. All right, we're good now. So we're going to hit enter again. And it's recording our sample. Let it finish recording. Now we got our sample. So we'll go to menu, sampler, and we're going to keep it at input 1. We're going to switch this over to record, and then we're going to, all right, and then we're going to record the sample. All right, we got our sample. We'll go to keep, menu, and then we'll go to sample edit. And this is our sample, new sample 1. And then what we're going to do is we're going to tune it back down to 20 and then process, normalize, and listen to what we have. Nice. All right, so we got our sample. We'll go to menu, and then we'll go to save, sample, and then we'll come back to our folder S950. We'll go to 12-bit samples and name it Hershey Kisses. Do it, save. So now we got our second sample. We'll come back to edit sample and then delete it, enter. All right, we'll come back to record and then choose our third sample. Now this sample, I got 2 samples in here that need to be truncated. Actually, no, just this one, I think. Just this one needs to be truncated because it's too long, and I'm going to have to change the bandwidth settings on it as well. So we're going to come over here to menu, sample edit, and we're going to change the start time to right here. All right. Right there. Okay, so since that sample is so long, we got 12 bars here. We got 12 bars. It's slow, so we're going to have to tune this up by 24. All right? That's the highest we can go is 24. And then we're going to have to change the bandwidth settings to match because the limited sample time on the S950. So we'll come to record. And I actually took notes yesterday. So we're going to go to record, page down, analog input, and then we're going to make this 14 hertz as the bandwidth. And then we'll make this 13 seconds. Yeah, 13 seconds. And then we'll go page down. Make sure this is in line. And then page down again. Audio level, and then we'll hit enter and record the sample. Finish recording. Let it finish recording. Okay, we got some here. So we'll change this over to record. All right. We'll come to menu, sampler. All right. And then, all right, we got some. So we'll record this sample. All right. And then stop it, keep, menu, sample edit. We'll go to the sample, and then we'll tune that back down to negative 24, process, normalize, and we'll listen to what we have. Nice. And all these samples are done by me. Okay, so now we got our third sample. So what we'll do is go to menu, save, sample, and then we have our folder already set up. We'll come to here, and then we'll name it Love My Life. And then do it. Save. All right, so now we got our third sample. And what we're going to do is come back to edit sample, and then we'll delete it from the S950, hit enter, come back to record, and then we'll choose our fourth sample, which is platinum, and we'll go to menu, sample, edit, and this one's going to be short, so we'll tune it up by 20, and we'll go to record, page down, page down, page down, and we'll change the bandwidth to 16 hertz again. And then we'll make this 12 seconds. Make it 12 seconds. Page down. Audio level. We'll make sure we put this back in line. And then we'll hit enter. Now it's recording the sample. Let it finish recording. And it's recorded. So we'll go to menu, sampler. We'll change this back over to record. And okay, we got it. So we'll go to ARM and record the sample. Stop, keep, menu, sample edit. We'll go to the sample we just recorded, and then we'll pitch it back down to 20, process, normalize, and we'll see what we got. Nice. That bass hits. All right, nice. So we'll come to menu, save, sample, and then we'll name this platinum. And we're almost done with the samples in this pack, and we'll do the drums, and then we'll be finished for today. So we'll come to do it, save, and then we'll come to edit sample on the S950, delete it from the S950, enter, record. And we'll do the last sample, which is Time Will Tell. Go to menu, sample, edit, and then we'll tune this up to 24. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so we got that. Record. We'll come to record on the S950. Scroll down. 16,000 hertz, and then 12 seconds. Audio level. Make sure we switch this back to line. Go to enter and let it record. Let it finish recording. It's recorded. So we'll come to menu, switch this back to record, and then we'll come to sampler. We got it. So we'll come to arm, playback. Hit stop, keep, come to menu, sample edit, choose the sample we just did, and then let's see, was it 20 or 20? Okay, 24. So we're going to tune this back down to 24, and then we'll come to process, normalize, do it, and then listen to what we got. Nice. That's chop worthy. Nice. All right, so that's the last sample of this pack, and then we're going to start doing the drums. But give me 1 second, I have to use the restroom. All right, sorry about that, guys. I had to use the restroom. So what we gotta do now is save this last sample. It's called "Time Will Tell." So we'll come to menu and then save sample, and we'll name this "Time Will Tell." Do it and save. Now that's the 5 samples that are in this pack. And now it's time to do the drums. So the drums are going to be easier to do. I got 16 pads, 16 drums that are going to be in this pack. And on Thursday, we'll actually do another live stream where we're on the computer and I'll do the mixing and compression and EQ. And then it'll be available to cop on my website. So we'll come to edit sample on the S950, and we'll delete that sample from the S950, go to enter, and then we'll go to record. Now, yesterday, I made sure to do my homework, and I created a drum program just for this. So we're going to go to the raw drum program, and we got... And these are just raw drums. These haven't been EQ'd. They haven't been compressed. None of that shit's done because I want the character of the S950 to run through the raw samples first, and then on the back end, when we go and do the live stream Thursday, then I'll actually compress it and EQ it and make it sound real nice. So we're going to start with the first pack, and we'll come to record on the S950. We'll scroll down. I'm going to refer back to my notes. All right. So we're going to do this at 16. let's move this to line, and we'll do 16,000 hertz as the bandwidth. We'll do 4 seconds this time, or 7. Nah. Let's do 4 seconds. 5 seconds. We'll make it 5 seconds. All right, and then scroll down again. Audio level, and then enter, and then we're just gonna do this. Let it record. Let it finish recording. All right, so we got our sample. There's something wrong going on with this. I think it's because of this. Yeah, I had this up too high. So we'll come to edit sample. I think these chords are actually shot. I've had them for years. So we'll go to enter, record, scroll down. The settings are already there. We're just going to record it again. Audio level, enter, and then let it finish recording. I think that's right. I think that's right. So we'll see about it. We'll go to record arm. All right, and then we'll exile that. Keep. I hope we don't have to record that again. I think these chords are actually shot, guys. So right here, and then we'll go to process, normalize, and listen to what we have. Yeah, it's the chord. The chord is fucked up, so we're going to have to record that again. We'll come to edit. We'll delete what we have. Enter. And we'll come to here and delete sample. We'll go back to main. And maybe if I do that, we'll go to record. Same settings. Audio level. Enter. Shit. Hopefully that works. Yeah, these chords are really shot. That's what the problem with this is the chords. So we'll come back to edit. I didn't have these problems yesterday, but the problem with shorted chords is one day they work, the next day they're all fucked up. So we'll try this again. We'll try it again. Turn this down on the MPC. We're going to record this a little hot, actually. I feel like we need to record that hot. And also, it could be feedback from the MPC. That's another thing that's probably going on. So we'll hit enter, and then let that record. All right, so we'll go to menu, and then sampler. Hopefully this works. We'll go to record. Didn't record all the samples. That's weird. Okay, so I think it's feedback that's happening. So and it didn't record all the drums I hit. So we'll go and delete that again. Come to record. You gotta have a lot of patience with these old samplers. And we'll go to enter, and we'll do this again. Oh yeah, we gotta switch it to line. Switch it to line, enter, and then enter again. Okay, hopefully it record everything now. I think we're good. So arm. All right, we got our sample. We'll go to keep, menu, sample edit. We'll come to the sample we just did. process, normalize, and we'll listen to what we got. It's the feedback that's happening. I don't know why it's doing that. That's really strange. It wasn't happening yesterday. Yeah, that's definitely feedback that's coming from the MPC to here. So, maybe if I back that off a little bit and then come to here, delete these, enter, record, scroll down, audio level, and then we're going to try it again. And then we're going to try to record this again. Maybe that'll take care of the feedback. Damn it. Let me see what my phone is at. Okay, we got plenty of charge on here. That's good. So this is taking a little bit longer than I thought. So let's mess around with the cord a little bit. Something's not right with this cord because yesterday it didn't sound like this. If you go to my Instagram page, you'll see what they're supposed to sound like. So we'll come to delete. You gotta have a lot of patience with this stuff, dude. A lot of patience. And that's one thing I have in abundance is patience. But if we don't get it on this live stream today, I'll make sure I get it at some point before Thursday. We'll go to audio level. And actually, I'll back that off just a little bit. Maybe that will help. Maybe if I back that off. And then enter. Please let it work this time. Please work. Works. Wait, hold on. Let's listen to this. There we go. We're off to the races. We're off to the races. Okay. So, I'm trying to remember what I named these drums in this real quick. So we'll come to let's see. This is the all talk. So we'll come to menu, sample, edit. We'll come back to this, and then what we'll do is go to menu, save, sample. We'll make a new folder called 12-bit drums. 12-bit drums. All right, do it, and then we'll name this all talk loop. Why not? Do it, save, and then I'll just chop this up into FL Studio when we do the live stream on Thursday. So I gotta take a little break, a little smoke break. Hold on. Don't smoke, guys. I'm trying to quit, so let me just take a few drags off this cigarette while I do this. So we'll come to edit, scroll page up, and then we'll delete that from here. Enter. We'll bring this back to line. Shit. See that feedback? So we want to make sure the level on the MPC is almost all the way down. But one thing I want to check before this is I want to come. Okay, so these 4 drums. No, that's the 808. Okay, so these 3 drums are the next pack. All right, so we got that. We'll come to record, page down, keep the same settings, switch that to line, audio level, enter, let it finish recording. All right, so we'll come to menu, switch this to record, sampler, and then arm, stop, keep, menu, sample edit. We'll come to that sample, process, and hopefully it won't do the feedback thing again. Nice. Got that kit. Let's see. What do we call this one? What do we call these drums? Danger. Okay, so we're going to save this as Danger. Go menu, sample, edit. Come to the new sample, which is this. And then we'll come to save, sample, 12-bit drums, Danger drums. Danger. All right, Danger loop. Do it. Save. And then we're going to do like the 808-ish pack. So we'll come to edit. Delete this. Enter. And then, let's see. Main. Okay, so these 3 drums are like the 808 ones. We're going to turn this back down so we don't get that feedback. We'll switch this over to line, menu, keep it on main, these 3, and then record, page down, audio level, enter, and then let it finish recording. All right, and then we'll switch this back over to record, menu, sampler, arm, stop, keep, menu, sample edit, process, normalize, and listen to what we have. Nice. I like that. So we're going to call, I already know what this is called, the Grit 808. So we'll come to menu, save sample, Grit. Hold on, I misspelled that. Grit 808. Loop. Do it. Save. And we're almost at the end of this live stream. And I thank you guys for following me. Big Dave, thanks for following me. All you guys that are liking and watching right now, I really appreciate it. I'm humbled. You know, I love this music stuff, and I'm glad anybody's watching me at all. So thank you. Edit sample. We'll delete that from here, and we're almost done. We'll go to enter, and then we'll go to main, and leave that for right now, and then okay, then we got these 3 drums to do next, and then we'll go to record, keep the same settings, scroll down, audio level, switch this over to line, shit, that feedback, and then enter, and then I think that's it. Hold on. I don't think I did that right. I don't think I hit the right drums. Enter, record that. Okay, so it's these 3. Okay, I did the wrong drums. So it's those 3. So pad 11 through 13. Okay. Same settings, audio level, switch this over to line, turn that down, and then enter. Let that finish recording. All right, so we'll switch this over to record, and then menu, sampler, arm, playback. The keep, menu, sample, edit, process, normalize, and listen to what we got. Nice. Okay, so what drums are these? Hot Night. Okay, so we'll save this as Hot Night. We'll make sure we're on the right one. Alright, so Hot Night, save, sample, Hot Night, loop, do it, save. And then we're down to the last drums, the last 3 drums. So I appreciate everybody joining me today. Anybody that joins me, no matter how small the audience is, I'm very appreciative. So we'll go to record, page down, same settings. Hold on. We'll go to main. Okay. And these actually, this last drums, I think, are my favorite in this whole pack. So I'm really excited to do this one. We'll turn this down so the feedback don't come through. And then we'll go to line. And then we'll come... Okay, no samples present. We'll go to record. Same settings. Audio level. Enter. And then let it finish recording. All right, and then we'll switch this over to record, menu, sample, edit. No, I gotta sample it back in. What am I doing? Okay. Arm. All right. Keep. Sample, edit. Where are we? Okay, there's 10. Shit. Okay, so process, normal. Damn it. Process, normalize, and listen to what we got. Nice. Okay, so we're done with the pack, guys. All we gotta do is save this last one. Let's see what we call these. Okay, the hurt drums. So we'll come to make sure the sample's there. All right, so save, sample, hurt, loop, save. Okay, so we're done, guys. I appreciate everybody for joining me today. It's been a real honor to show you my workflow process with the S950 and the MPC. I hope you learned something. What we're going to do on Thursday is I'm going to do another live stream, this time from my computer on FL Studio through OBS, and we're going to go through and we're going to edit the samples, edit the drums, EQ, compress everything, put it together in the pack, and then it'll be ready for you guys to cop on my website. So, like I said, thank you guys for joining me, and I hope you have a nice day. Thank you.